Hello, friends. My name is David Trotter. I'm the founder and publisher of Awaken Magazine, and excited to be with you today because we are celebrating the launch of our second anthology book, Awakened Hearts. And this is called Sacred Stories of Breaking Free and Rising Higher. And you can get it in the paperback, you can get it in the hardback, which I love. I love seeing the wonderful faces of the 25 authors that have participated in the book. And so this is a great resource. And of course, you can get it in Kindle. You can go to awakenedheartsbook.com and check it out. So what we've been doing all week is giving an opportunity for our contributing authors to come and you get a chance to meet them and connect with them and hear a bit about their story and how they're serving the world and about the process of telling their story in the book itself. And so today we have the opportunity to be with Pamela Downs, Ragan, Thomson, and Nina Palmieri. So welcome.
Thank
Hi,
you.
everybody. Thank you for
Hello,
having
everyone.
It's great to have you guys. This is like a power-packed live stream. When I saw the list, I was like, this is going to be a lot of power on this live stream. So it's great to be with you guys. And so I want to begin just giving you an opportunity to share a little bit about yourself, who you are, how you serve the world, and even where you live. That's always fun to hear. You don't have to give a street address. That would be awkward. So I know you guys you serve people from around the world. But Pamela, do you mind going first?
Sure. Thank you, David. And it's so nice to be here with everyone. I'm so excited about the book. When I got it in the mail, I was like, this is a dream come true. It's so beautiful. And I'm so excited to dive into everybody's stories. So I am Pamela Downs. I am the founder of Spirit Calling. It's an online global spiritual community that I received a vision in 2020 to create to help people navigate through their spiritual awakening journey. I am also a trance channel for my guides, the Great Council of Light. And the work that I do in all aspects of what I do is help to serve people and help them understand how to raise their frequency, to reconnect to their soul's purpose, and then to step really deeply in aligned living and living with their spirit first.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Pamela.
and I'm in the East Coast outside of Washington, D.C.
Yeah. I got a chance to meet Pamela in person in San Diego and got to be together. And she's got an incredible booth presence with your meditations there for people to be able to sample. And then, of course, I got to see you speak. That was awesome. So much energy. Yeah. And wonderful transmission. So thank you. Great to see you.
You're welcome. Great to see
Nina,
you.
I have not had a chance to meet you in person yet, but I hope to one day. Tell us about yourself and how you're serving the world.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Nina Palmieri, and I live in Northern Arizona. And I'm the founder of a nonprofit organization called the New Earth Movement. And basically, it's a platform to bring a whole bunch of different services, one-on-one and groups, where I'm doing awareness teachings and wisdom teachings based on the Toltec principles. And like you, Pamela, and probably like you too, Ragan, just to help people to awaken to the truth of who they are, to their frequency, to their voice, to their divinity, really, so that they can step into the medicine of who they are. And I have a mentorship school, which is really active right now and really helping people to learn how to mentor themselves so they can go out in the world and be a clear reflection and to mentor others. So, yeah, lots of different things. Journeys, power retreats, and yeah.
And you are on a retreat or getting ready to start a retreat right now, is that right?
Yes, I'm on the Big Island now, getting ready to start a retreat. So yes, it's
Wonderful.
Beautiful. I travel and get to go all over the world to do the work. So it's beautiful to go to different locations.
Great, good to have you.
Thank you.
Ragan, tell us about yourself and how you are serving the world.
Thanks so much, everyone. My name is Ragan Thomson. I've been a spiritual teacher and healer for quite some time on the planet this lifetime. I serve as a conduit of the light. I work with spirit. I work with the creation. I've been channeling really my soul for a long time and really helping people heal all their unresolved material from this lifetime and all past lives so that they can really come into their most divine expression of who they truly are in this lifetime and serve and joyously in the planet. So helping people to awaken to their divine soul's mission and purpose. I serve as a soul journey teacher, a soul activation teacher. So I help people access their souls, learn about their soul, begin to express through their soul's light. So that specific work has been unfolding more and more as guided by the divine for some time. And I work locally. I do a lot of work speaking, doing retreats, workshops, classes, as well as locally and globally. I've been doing a lot of world service for like the last maybe almost 7-8 years, and it's been kind of understood that that's where spirit would like to put me, like more in the larger stages, rooms where people normally wouldn't see this type of work.
Mhm.
So it's quite like, ending up in DC and Washington, in New York recently at CGI, Clinton Global Initiative, rooms where they're like, "Who are you and what are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, we're talking about love. We're talking about the heart. We're talking about consciousness." And they're like, "Interesting. I'm actually kind of receptive to that now." So, um, m- finding that just learning that where spirit just kind of guides me and puts me, I'm open to being positioned that way. And I think it's just from a long many chapters of lots of internal work to be able to hold space in a sovereign way in those type of spaces.
Thank you so much, Ragan. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
I
And
always
I'm located in Santa Barbara, California.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you
Yeah.
near me in DC?
Yeah, I was just there a while ago. No, I'm in Santa Barbara, and I've lived here with my family and my children for many years. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So those of you who haven't had a chance to pick up the book yet, one of the things that I love is at the beginning of each chapter, we feature the author and, of course, their chapter title. And then at the end, we have their bio and their information and their QR codes. One of the reasons why we started this anthology collection is because I was hearing so many stories, incredible stories of awakening to consciousness, mindfulness, spirituality. And I kept thinking, man, we've got to get these stories out to a broad audience, because if more people can hear that you can go through those dark times, that you can have those breakdowns that result in breakthroughs, that you can figure out what is this intuitive experience that I'm having and how do I integrate that into my life, that would bring more love, more healing, more awakening. And so that's really what we're doing through this book, is getting these stories amplified out. And then in the process, you're getting to know these incredible healers and teachers. I want that face right at the beginning of the chapter so that as you're reading it, you're like feeling connected to that person, And
Yeah.
so that then you, if you're inspired by them, many of them, as these incredible leaders have already mentioned, they're here to support you on that journey. And you're going to resonate with one more than the other just because that's what we're, as human beings. And then reach out for their support, either one-on-one or through, some of them offer readings, coaching, courses, retreats, all sorts of things. So that's kind of the vision behind what we're doing. I want to begin with this theme of awakened. Obviously, we chose that for the magazine, Awakened magazine. I've used that term awakened for many years, like all these documentary projects that I did it under the theme Awakened Media. Before I even was like kind of in this world of spirituality, that word meant so much to me. So when you guys think of the term awakened, what does that mean to you? Pamela, do you mind diving into that first?
Yeah. For me, and personally with my experience, it's, I always talk about, you start poking holes in your reality, in the existence that you're living. And a lot of us are born into systems and traditions and religions and all these things. And to me, it's remembering who truly I am and what that essence of who I am is, and understanding what it is that I believe in and what are my truths, and moving out of the conditioning of that world that I talked about and into identifying myself and my soul and the higher calling that I have. It's, to me, to live an awakened life is to live with my spirit at the very forefront of who I am, and knowing that I am guided, I am held, and I am a part of all that is, and I am not on this journey by myself. And when I started understanding that path, of the remembrance path of who I am, and living it and seeing my life change before my eyes, and seeing, attracting new opportunities and new people and new ideas and concepts, like all the things, and healing, I started to understand that I am connected to all that is, that I am an aspect of all that is. And it just changes your entire perspective and all those holes that you poked along the way to understanding who you are. A new reality is created. And when you're living awakened, you just want to share it with the world. You want to share it with everyone. And those of us who are on that awakening journey, who now are living and leading and living our soul's purpose, and supporting others in that journey. Ragan was talking about being positioned into these large spaces and these grand stages. And it starts off, in dribs and drabbles and pieces and parts and concepts, and then it turns into your life and the way you live. I know in my awakening to be the living example, to show others that they can do that as well. And so that's my greatest gift. I know it's my soul's journey for the rest of my life. And I am just enjoying this so much now. Yeah, I'm really truly enjoying my life and living this awakened life.
Thank you, Pamela. How about you, Nina? What does this term awakened or awakening mean to you?
It's such a beautiful question. And thank you for your response, Pamela. I could see that why you said that we're aligned, a power group here. The women, it's very, very aligned, everything you just said. For me, the truth is that we're infinite, and we were born into this 3D matrix, and we went into forgetfulness, really. And for me, the journey has been how to wake up and to really realize who we are truly, and that we're divine. We are, as you said, Pamela, we're not alone. We are the truth. We're love. We're beyond the form of the mind and beyond the body. And when we discover that, we're part of creation. It's like all of life is alive. The elements, the rain just started coming. I had to put it on mute. It got so loud when you were speaking. It's just to recognize that we are one with everything. And it is a joyful experience to wake up to love. And I believe we're in the time of the Great Awakening. And so, this book comes at a brilliant moment to help people to become illuminated to who they truly are, so that they can anchor the light, so that we can raise the frequency on the planet, lift the veil of illusion, of separation, and really walk empowered in the knowing of the truth of who we are. So it's a journey. It's a beautiful journey. And, the more that we wake up, the more that we realize we're alive. We're alive and we're divine. There's beauty and grace there.
Thank you,
It's
Nina.
very empowering and inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I also realized just in this moment something that you have in common with Ragan, and I don't know if you guys have read each other's chapters. I don't even know if you read it, but Nina was a tennis teaching professional, and Ragan was tennis has been a huge part of her life in younger years. Yeah. So
Most of my life early on in life, actually, just it sounds like you as well. Competed for many years, and then toured, and then taught.
Beautiful.
And then it became a huge healing piece of what we're talking about right now, which is really, I also want to just say it's interesting because as one wakes up, as far as we understand, and I'm sorry, sometimes I speak in we as I start to connect to spirit, as I understand that it's like what we're saying here is so similar, because it literally is the premise of the awakening process. It's like as I've woken up, it feels like many times, by the way. It's not just one awakening, it's a deepening of an awakening process, right? And every time it's like this metamorphosis, this amazing metamorphosis of learning more about who I truly am as a soul in this body, having this human experience. And the end of separation, the end of division, the end of fear, the resolve of all worry, all doubt, this understanding and knowingness that I am simply a divine emanation of spirit. I never have been anything less than that. I got confused along the way at moments. I felt, afraid. I felt there was an illusion that I bought into. I went asleep. I woke up. I went asleep. I woke up. So really, this incredible journey of forgiving and accepting myself, and I see that as the grand journey that we're all on to fully love and accept every part of ourself till there's fully this complete integration of self into soul, into spirit. And eventually, as far as I also feel is my ultimate surrendered state of service that's happening more and more so now, the ultimate result is really to be nothing and no one. I really don't feel that I need to be something anymore. I don't need to achieve anything.
Yeah.
And as I become this spacious presence of myself in connection to, I say spirit, God, universe, creation, however people connect, then I can be guided fully. And I think that's the grand awakening. It's like spirit's just like, can I use you as a divine conduit of my light in the world? And I get to be this fractal of the one, this divine emanation, this piece of the puzzle, this interwoven tapestry, this divine tapestry that is making up our entire existence, and I get to be a segment of that. And my expression and my divinity is deeply a part of that, as all of ours is. And I think that it's interesting. I used to really want to become someone, and now it's really the path of unbecoming. It's the path of really not trying to become anyone, which makes space for so much joy and so much service. It's such a paradox. People were like, "No, you gotta become someone." I'm like, "Well, there was that, and that was a part of it, and then there is now this awesome opportunity to simply be guided." And I only feel like we can in that awakened state where spirit's like, "Okay, I can guide you because there's space to guide you." If there's a part of myself that needs to do something, be something, achieve something, spirit's like, "I'd love to utilize you more, but you've already got that covered," it looks like. So so I think the awakening of myself, the world, like you said, Nina, it's absolutely, I completely agree. The great awakening is here. Amazing. Thank you, David, so much for this awesome opportunity to serve in this way while the world is awakening. I mean, you were spot on with your timing. This whole experience has been so divine. And yeah, so I think that the more we wake up, the great awakening that's happening, you're just going to have a whole lot more beautiful souls that can collaborate with each other and serve together joyously and really help our planet just awaken completely into consciousness. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I want to hear about how life is different for you in this season of life. And as Reagan said, we go through various seasons of awakening, right? Experiences that are challenging. And then we wake up. I think you said you fall asleep, you wake up, fall asleep, wake up. And so, what is life like now for you? And I want to read a little snippet, Nina, from your chapter as you describe one of those seasons of transformation. You say, I went through a profound process of unlearning and self discovery. I opened to something that was beyond the programming of my mind and was graced with endless encounters with love. I I've now understood that all of the times when I had hesitated to follow my truth, it was due to the stronghold of the deeply embedded conditioned patterns trying to keep me small in the hope of maintaining a false sense of safety and familiarity with the known. And your chapter is so, I love the beginning as you're, saying goodbye to your dad and you're off on your adventure. I have a 26-year-old daughter, so I was like feeling that moment going, no, don't go. And then simultaneously, yes, go, be adventurous. So anyway, uh, yeah, what is life like for you now in this season, having gone through these awakening processes?
Well, I would say there's a lot of peace. Even when I was hearing you read that, I remember those moments of just being moved, and love moves. And so I was moved to encounter the truth of who I was. And when we have that experience, you know, nothing can take that away. It's more than reading about it or hearing someone talk about it. It's like having that experience of divine grace, and now living in knowing, you know, there's faith in that, in the unknown, versus faith in the known, in that smallness of who I thought I was. So that's become more of my life in the path to trust in the mystery, and to just allow life to flow through me and allow life to guide me. So there's a lot more peace, a lot more grace and acceptance, and a lot more joy, really, and inspiration. I would say there's more inspiration to be. And as Ragan was saying, you know, we don't have to do, we could be more. You know, there's more of a relaxing into what is versus how I think it should be. So with all of that, I mean, there's more peace in the body, there's more peace in the mind. And it's not that things aren't still happening. You know, there's so many things that happen from day to day that are unexpected, or that can be challenges. But to have myself, and to have myself meaning having God, I can live in with that faith and know that I'm part of everything, and everything is, you know, life's not against me. I think we tend to think, oh, you know, life is against me, and we see it through the filter. But when the filter is clear, we could see that we are life, we are one with life. And, you know, life is teaching us for the evolution of our consciousness and our soul. And yeah, and ultimately there's more joy and love.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ragan, I wanted to ask you the same question, of course, like, you know, how is life different for you in this season, having gone through various stages of your journey? And I wanted to read about that in the last page of your chapter, which is titled The Ongoing Spiritual Metamorphosis Within and Without. Yes. Not that I've ever been jealous of a woman's hair, but I'm just saying I might be. I mean, just maybe.
That's so funny.
That's cute.
Every stage of this evolutionary process, whether through art, love, motherhood, or spiritual practice, has been a testament to the power of transformation. Like the butterfly, I have shed layers of fear, constriction, and ego, knowing that at each stage, I am being prepared for a new height of freedom, creativity, and joy. And so I walk this path consciously, embracing each chrysalis moment. That's how I say that, right? Chrysalis?
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis?
Chrysalis.
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 Okay, I'm going to say it again. And so I walk this path consciously, embracing each
Chrysalis.
chrysalis,
That's a nice word.
each butterfly breakthrough moment as an essential phase of my growth. I recognize the divine timing within it, trusting the universe's infinite wisdom as I continue to fly, unfurling my wings with gratitude for the sacred metamorphosis that continuously takes place within me. Love that vision of a butterfly.
Yeah.
You talk about this metamorphosis. How is life different for you in this season?
Yeah. Well, it's like Nina also said, and Pamela, you know, it's, gosh, not without still having these moments of deeper inner work for a moment of, based on the awakening world. It's like, you know, there could be a moment of some sort of pocket of energy that needs to be fully dissolved. There might be a moment like that, but it's a little bit more far and few between. And when it's accessed, it's quite refined and pretty profoundly deep. I'll go with that. So meaning that spirit's like almost requiring in some way, in a very loving way, that as the new frequency that is coming into our planet is about now and starting to shift in this higher frequency, this up-leveling that's happening, that my system is required to meet that if I'm going to be serving in a world container. So yeah, so I'm just hold on for the ride basically in moments when that happens, and do the work internally in all the ways that I can, and in a surrendered state as much as possible. So that can happen. That's been also happening, but there's also been a amazing amount of joy that's coming through in my system, and creativity. That is really, really fun. I was in such a deep state of service with the world and for many years, to the point where I feel like I kind of was selflessly doing that in a way that I was positioned in ways where I was like, how am I here? I don't even know. I don't know about AI. Why am I like, I'm like, okay, well, now you're serving on the stage around, bringing conscious AI to the world. I'm like, I don't even know anything about that. Anyways, so the learning about it and researching and working on the global fund around the climate crisis, and doing so much research with scientists, environmentalists, and healers, and just really interesting places where I was put. And so I think I was gathering information around the full spectrum of the world and the human condition. And then as that kind of started to, I resigned from a chair position and with an organization a little while ago that was really avidly a part of all that I shared just now. So now it's really cool. I'm being awakened back into this creative space of healing arts, where I used to work quite a bit in. And I had another chapter after tennis of working with then acting and singing and all kinds of stuff. I did a lot of production and film and all kinds of things. And so then I took a big break from that while I was doing all this other stuff and serving. And then suddenly Spirit's like, no, back into the healing arts you go. Yeah, bringing in, I used to be a comedian for a few years. I mean, such interesting chapters. And suddenly there's the laughter and the joy and the creativity. It's being brought into my life. I'm creating a couple different albums and singing again. I mean, it's interesting, and how that's interweaving into all of it. It absolutely is. It's actually coming into the center of all the service. So I don't know. I think it's just really fascinating. I mean, I really have had so many interesting chapters, and it feels like Spirit's going, hey, out of all of that you've gone through, let's bring in the grace. Let's bring in the joy. How does your soul feel most inspired to serve? And I'm like, really? I get to do that now? It's like, yes, you do. And it's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. So I think, all that purification work, all that deep dive internally, it just was incredibly worth it. It is starting, like you said, Pamela, getting to be a lot more joyous and fun. And I'm also learning a lot about beingness as the primary way of serving in every spectrum of my life. There was a lot more doingness before, a lot more like doing within the wake without this great awakening that was happening in the planet. It was like go, 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 do, serve, serve, serve. I mean, there's so much effective service that's happening now with just my beingness, just showing up in that divine space of presence with spirit and a state of beingness. That's when I'm finding that I'm most effective, and then again, easily guided. So that's really what's new in this season. It's really been, if I was to say, like one of the most spectacular, joyous chapters of so far. Yeah, it's been really awesome.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
For whatever reason, the word that stands out to me as you were sharing about your journey is joy. Like
Yeah.
that's the word that just really came through strongly for me.
Yeah.
Like that this is a season of joy for you. And yeah,
Yeah, it is
yeah.
actually. And when it really boils down to when I kind of connect with my soul process, it is, I mean, I think the soul innately is joyous. I really do think most souls are, but that's my understanding of my soul in a nutshell.
Mhm.
It's about bringing joy to this planet. It's about bringing joy and creativity and laughter, and like letting that be a purifying agent in a big way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Pamela, I've got first paragraph that I'm going to read from your
Okay.
chapter. You write, if someone had told me 20 years ago that I'd one day be sharing messages from higher dimensional beings called the Great Council of Light, I would have laughed and thought they were completely crazy. I never thought I'd be a channeler. Back then, I was living what looked like a perfectly normal life. I followed the rules, did what was expected of me, and ticked all the boxes of what a quote unquote successful life was supposed to look like. What I learned is that awakening is uncomfortable. It shakes everything up. It feels ungrounding and pushes you right to your edge. It surprises you in ways you could have never imagined. And yet, once you move through the shift, it's pure magic. That is
Mm.
my awakening journey.
Mm.
Yeah. So life is different for you now,
Yeah,
mildly.
totally different. Yeah. It's so interesting to hear that, right? And we share these stories over and over again about our journey. And I feel like everything that Reagan just shared is where I'm at. Like, it's incredible. And being in service, working so hard and doing all the things that you need to do. And now it's beingness. And it's verbatim what you said. Now is the time for joy. Now is the time to just show up in complete surrender and allow whatever is supposed to come through to come through. And being in great service of being healer now, which if you would have told me 20 years ago that I would be doing soul healing, DNA and light code activation, and what they're telling me is instantaneous healing, like major massive healing coming in the next, I think it's coming very soon. I would have also laughed because I never aspired or knew that this was my journey. It took me a long time, David, through the journey of stepping out of fear into love, love for opportunity, love for everything that was on the other side of the decisions that I had to move through, into now just being led, being guided, just living it, being in the beingness and service in wherever it is that I'm supposed to show up, however it is that I'm supposed to be. And you know, it's instantaneous manifestation is happening now. I start to the creativity. I'm also a musician, an artist, a singer, all the things. And now I'm at the
You
point
can't
where
just say that, Pamela. You're not just like a singer. Like you were like a crazy singer. Like,
I'm,
come on, tell the people.
tell them all. I was in the David Bowie tribute band for 10 years.
Oh,
As David Bowie.
Yeah, as in spacesuits and mohawks and the whole
Oh,
thing. Yeah, it was really fun.
I love David Bowie.
Really, really fun. But I do too. But now it's a whole different way of being. It's a whole different way of life. It's a whole different way of showing up. And just the creativity that Reagan just talked about, like joy. I'm saying now is the time. I've worked so hard running two businesses, fulfilling all of the downloads and the visions and the things that I've been receiving, showing up in the ways that they're asking me to. And now I'm so excited to, into joy, into art, into space, into friends, into things that I've been sacrificing for the last several years. And I'm saying I want to find friends in this new area that I moved in, and they're just showing up, and they're like high frequency. They're new groups. It's wonderful. I want to see more music. Being invited to see music. I'm going to start this new program, and it manifests while I'm talking to someone at the last session of one of their sessions that it's a new evolve session. Like it's just showing up, and the guys just continue to say, just sit in allowance. It's all coming to you now. It's all here. It's divine reciprocity. It's all the beautiful things that are on the other side of the faith and the surrender and the being, and being. So yeah, it's a different way of life, and I'm so in awe of it still. And that's the one thing that I hear from people over and over and over again, that you're still excited about the work. You're still in awe of what you're doing. Yeah, I am. It's amazing. It's continually more and more amazing. So yeah, and it'll change, before I know it. And in the next month, it'll be something new, and it'll be a new place, a new space, a new gift, a new whatever it is, and I'm here for it.
Thank you so much, Pamela. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Yeah.
I want to hear about the writing process for you guys. And you guys have written a number of different, things. So it might not have been new for you, but I'm just curious about this particular chapter. Where did you write it? How did you write it? What was the experience like? Was it easy? Was it challenging? Did emotion come up? Like, I'm just curious about that. Pamela, do you mind sharing about your process?
Sure. I am not a writer. I am a speaker. I am a watcher. I am creatively, I am an artist and a musician and all of those things. I thought this would be easy. I'm on podcasts all the time. All I do is share my story. I've got this. So when I sat down to write, I found it really hard to put it into a package that was of a finite time. And so I thought I'll just channel it. It'll be good, and it will be easy. It was soul work, you know. And I went through it and I worked on it continually over and over again. And I had to go and read it and see it and feel it again and again. I was so happy with it when it was finished. I was so
Mhm.
proud of it because I'm not a writer, you know. I'm the person who hires writers and works with creatives and photographers and videographers. And so when I say that this is something that I'm so incredibly proud of, I am, you know. And they woke me up in the middle of the night and told me the name of my book earlier this year. So this is like, I'm starting the channeling process, David. So this was a
Yeah,
gift.
yeah, yeah.
This was a gift. Yeah.
That's great. Wonderful. How about for you, Nina? What was the writing process like for you, revisiting the season of your life as you wrote about it?
Yeah, it ties into like what is my life like now after the awakening? That last question, because when you just asked, I was sat into remembering how that was for me, and it was opening up to perception. Like, okay, I'm a blank slate. What's there to write about, and just allowing the message to come through, which was there was a lot of ease, and there was like a really pronounced theme, like with my dad saying that to me and like what that really meant, that like I'm going to leave and never come back. And like, what was that journey like for me? And like, what happened in between? So it was really, yeah, it was a lot of just flow that came through. And also for me, I would say I have a lot of inspiration and a lot of writings and archives and all over the place. And I really appreciate the opportunity to have to be part of this book, and also to have like a deadline and like, okay, we got to get it in. And it's like, okay, there's so much in there, right? As we're talking about creativity, what happens when we wake up to allowing life to move through. And it's like sometimes just to sit down and do it is all we have to do. And so, yeah, it was like that for me. Sit down. There's a deadline. Open up to the channel, and a lot just came through. And here comes the rain again. The grace of life, concurring with the beauty of just allowing the ripple of life to move through.
Mhm. I love reading about your guys' lives because, I know you in one context and I know you about this much. And
Mhm.
so it's just so fun to go, oh, now I know them this much. And like whether it's a story or whatever it might be. And I hear from a lot of authors, and I haven't necessarily heard it from you guys, but from others who feel nervous to share their story, right? What are people going to think about me? I know Brenda Matosh, she navigated, I shouldn't say navigated, she managed uh, private airplanes for celebrities and rock stars for like 30 years. And now she's in this whole other space of coaching and healing and channeling. And she's like, this feels scary to put my story out there because previous clients are going to read. She had previous clients buy the book and like comment about it. And so for her, it's like this kind of coming out experience. And for me as a reader, though, the result is empathy and connection,
Mhm.
right? Just empathy for whatever you've gone through, and then connection of wanting to like feeling more connected, right? Being more on your team, feeling like I know you more. Sometimes I just wanted to crawl through the page and give somebody a hug because it was like, oh my gosh, you're just going through hell in this moment, you know. So anyway, I think the result for the reader, my desire is that they would cultivate empathy, connection. They would see themselves in your story and
Mhm.
go, oh, okay, wow. If Pamela can go through that, if she can go through that deconstruction process of her programming and then come into this very unique giftedness. Well, I can do that. I can come into my own unique giftedness, whatever that, might be. So, yeah.
David, would you mind me saying one more thing?
Yeah, yeah,
Just
go
like
for it.
another part that was really, poignant for me in writing that was when I was, those moments of realization, or going into like the illusion and awakening. It's like to write it to help to unlock that for someone else, just because we're all on this journey together, the journey of forgetfulness, but the journey of the truth of who we are. And that was fun for me to find those moments to highlight so that other people can unlock the wisdom within.
Mhm.
So
And
yeah.
I think those stories, will be a mirror to go, I didn't even know I was locked up. I didn't even know I was blind. I didn't even know I was just in the groove of the programming that I was given. Oh, wow.
Mm.
Can
So
I ask Nina something? Would that be
yeah.
When I was reading your chapter, that too about your father stuck out to me. Like I could actually feel the ping of fear from him. And I too have, a 23 and 21-year-old. And did you feel when you see that in print again, reading it, do you even feel it even more deeply?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the rain is just coming strong. I do. I feel that connection with my father. And the thing that stands out is that, I called him this past week and said, okay, Dad, because I kept saying, you're in this book, you're in this chapter. And he just kept laughing and he didn't know what he was getting into. But I had a talk with him and he said, I remember that moment very clearly. And that like touched my heart. Like there's yeah, just like that feeling of wow, that was a brave move for me because I come from a really close cultural Italian family,
It's
and
huge.
to take that leap and like go across the country when everyone was living in the same street.
Mhm.
So yeah, I still feel that. My family still says, "Are you ever gonna come home?" It's like, well, I'm home.
I am home. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
home. But yeah, thank you for asking that. It's touching to revisit it for sure.
How about you, Ragan? What was this writing process like for this particular chapter?
Um, I really enjoy writing, first off. I think that it's another creative medium that really comes through pretty easily through my system. I do act as a channel as well for spirit. So I just start to connect with but I do feel that when I wrote this chapter specifically, I think I'm also a little bit of a poet. So I really enjoy kind of connecting into this like ethereal poetic realm of linguistics, and then also getting to write that, and so listening to like, I don't know, I love Rumi, right? So I feel like it was really fun to connect to the essence of my story, but then bring in this kind of poetic vibe to it. So I was really enjoying kind of like an artistic expression of my story. And I do feel that the analogy of the metamorphosis of the butterfly is really been my whole journey, and it's been multiple metamorphosis moments. So I was like, let's just bring that into the whole thing. And so I really enjoyed bringing in like the essence of that artistic expression of my writing into it. And I've been told for a very long time that I have so many books to write. And I'm like, when do these begin, Spirit?
Now.
And
Now.
then now, yeah. And then it was like, well, let's do this chapter, and then let's do this other one. So it really has been it's interesting. The first book that I was asked to write by Spirit many years ago was the story of awakening. And so then David, you come along, and I'm like, okay, great. Well, and the reason why I didn't start then is I kept saying, I'm still writing the story. I'm still in the story. And I was like, oh, but you can already start now. And I'm like, well, all right. I mean, I'll just we'll start, but like there's like supposedly some sort of end to the story. There was like, no, there's no end to the story. Just start now. I'm like, okay, great. There's no end to the story. So um, and then all kinds of interesting books that are inside my system. And I'm like, okay, well then start writing those. So anyways, I've had my team saying I should be writing books for a long time. I've had multiple, you got to write a book. You got to write a book. And so it's just fun to start to put it on paper. And so, yeah, it felt like a pretty easy stream of consciousness. And I really enjoy it. Clearly, it's just like a scratching of the surface of what's to come. But unlike you, probably all on the call here, it's like there's so many projects and things happening. I'm like, I don't know how many books I'm going to be writing every week, but I think eventually there'll be others for sure over the course of time. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I'm excited that Ragan, you and your mom are both participating in our next book, which is called Sacred Bonds. And that book is going to be all about stories around motherhood. So we have had such a profound interest in talking about moms and writing about moms on Awaken Magazine that I just felt like, oh, I want to, I have been inspired by Chicken Soup for the Soul. That is the inspiration behind this book series. Just not necessarily the stories, they're all inspirational, but just the widespread influence that book series had in the 1990s here in the United States. And I just thought, man, if we could just get like a small percentage of the influence telling stories of awakening. But I think that, we all obviously have a mom or mother figures in our life.
Yeah.
And so we have a story to tell perhaps about her. We perhaps have been a mom or a mother figure, and then maybe some of us have have a mother wound that we are healing through. So anyway, I'm excited that you guys are participating in that book. It should be amazing. It'll be coming out for just in time for Mother's Day 2026.
Thank
So,
you so much, David. I just want to thank you for that. There's a very large part of my awakening process has been around the healing of the wound with the mother. And yeah, I mean, we're in such an amazing place now, but it's been this incredible healing journey. So the timing again of this of the gift of getting to share the story of our healed journey is we used to do mother-daughter speaking engagements actually together. So like sharing our journey as we went. Yeah, it was really beautiful. And then we took a little break and there was some deeper work to do. And then recently I'm having such a wonderful time with her. And that certainly is not how it started off in this life. So I'm so grateful to get to share that. I actually started working on the chapter today.
nice,
Oh yeah,
nice.
my team's like, well, you don't need to. I'm like, but it's like coming through, and
That's
you want to-
great. That's great.
yeah.
Well, what do you guys have any questions for each other? Sometimes I'll open it up like this just because there's a connection. And I mean, I think Pamela could ask a million questions. She's like me. She's like, I'm ready. I'm ready to
I
interview
am.
these ladies.
I come off that
What?
way. But Reagan, I did feel that, I mean, everything you said, I felt that creative sense with your writing.
Oh,
I did feel that. I read both of your chapters before the call,
thanks so
and
much.
yeah, they were so unique. And um, Nina, I can connect with you because of the Italian background, and moving across the bridge and the other side of the like 40 minutes away was a big deal. And then moving now 2.5 hours away was a big deal. And it's me like pushing the boundaries continually. And that's just that's more in my here and here than it really is maybe that exists. But I'm just so happy to meet you guys and be able to have these conversations and to be a part of this book. And I can't wait to read the mother-daughter book, because there are so many people who are struggling with their relationships with their mother, or they're in the middle of healing it, and I'm one of them. I love my mom, and we're always working on our relationship to make it better. So that's really very inspirational indeed.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you so much.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel really happy to meet both of you too, and I'm looking forward. I'm going to read your chapters, even though I'm running into a retreat. You too. I'm going to read your chapters in the next 24 hours. That's my commitment. And I just feel resonance, and really feel a lot of light, a lot of brightness here. And David, just the amazingness of bringing this to the world at this very moment is so poignant. And so I'm just happy to be amongst others who are really walking the path and serving the light and serving the divine, and are inspired, are genuinely inspired. When you speak, you could feel it, and this is what the world needs. So yeah, I'm grateful to be here with both of you.
Nina, if you
All three
could,
of you, I mean, but I'm saying,
Yes.
yes.
Oh,
Nina, if you could encapsulate in like one or two sentences your hope for your chapter and the book as it gets out into the world, what would that be?
Well, one, as I said, that people could identify like that streamline of truth, and they could have it as a mirror, a reflection for their awakening, like for some really inspiration to come into their power and to rise up in their own frequency, their voice, their divine understanding, and really also to get it out to the world, to get my teachings out to the world more, to reach more people. I'm willing and ready and desiring, and that's been the message for a very long time, like to reach the masses. So just for people to come so that I could share, and that be part of supporting that for other people if they're awakening.
And people can find you, as they can see on the screen, at a newearthmovement.org. And your Instagram is it just a New Earth Movement, or is there something else?
A New Earth Movement.
Okay. I didn't know if there was an underscore or a dot or a asterisk or something, all those different. Great.
Yeah,
A newearthmovement.org.
Social media, you could even just put in my name, Nina Palmieri, too, and find me on Facebook. We have a New Earth Movement there, too. And yeah, and there's writings, there's blogs and teachings and programs. And
yeah, wonderful. Ragan, how about
opportunity?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for participating. Ragan, how about for you, in one or two sentences, what are your hopes for your chapter in the book as it expands into the world?
That folks are also inspired to get on this healing journey and see the absolute magic and blessing of it, rather than the, oh no, and it's going to be really hard, and is it worth it? And to really feel, I too have been there, and if I can heal with what I've healed from, then they can as well. And that they see that and feel that in the chapter, and they're like, wow, is this possible for me too? It's like, yeah, believe me. I mean, my first chapter and then into the second, you'll see the evolution. I take people on an evolution from chapter to chapter, and I hope that they in this story feel inspired, and they have faith that they can do it too, and that they choose to just day by day, moment by moment, also experience the possible awakening that is possible for them as well. That's my deepest wish, that when I write any of this type of work in the world, or share in any way, that I'm inspiring others to know that they too can resolve their inner pain and wounding. Yeah.
Thank you, Ragan.
Yeah.
And people can find you obviously at RaganThompson.com and get all your meditations and resources, and of course social media. So, and maybe someday we'll see a match between Ragan and Nina. I'd like to see that.
That would be fun.
That was great.
We'll see. You never know. I'm at this point. Anything's possible.
How about you, Pamela? What are your hopes for your chapter in the book?
I share my story so often, David, and I get so many messages on all my platforms and my inboxes about, I resonate with you. I understand that I've had that experience. I want people to know they're not alone. I want them to hear the resonance of love in my voice and my heart, and to know that they can do it. They can stretch themselves into finding more, and they have permission to do that, and that they're not crazy. They're not a label. They're not all the things that they've been told that they are, and that they can find community, and they can be supported, and they can explore, and they can remember who they are.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, as we have mentioned, you can get your copy at awakenedheartsbook.com, and you can get the Kindle, you can get the paperback and the hardback, and pick up one. I think having it around on your bedside table, you just read one chapter a night, just take you a few minutes to dive into somebody's story. And then, as I mentioned, their contact information is in the back of the chapter. So if you resonate with their story, reach out and just tell them, like, hey, your story impacted my life. I want to tell you. So I know each one of these leaders would love to hear from you. So thank you guys so much for all that you're doing. Thank you for sharing your story in the book. Thanks for being here today. It's great to be with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, wonderful to meet you, ladies. I'm going to reach out.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, David. Thank you for what you're doing also, and for receiving us, and for putting this